Greetings class, Dr. Wendy Waugh here. I thought I'd spend just a few minutes in this screencast video to show you around the MindTap course system. I know many of you are used to using McGraw-Hill's Connect, and this is the same, just a little bit different. It's the same idea. When you use the information I've provided in the course to sign in and set up an account, then you'll land on a page that looks something like this. Now this is a weekly view and it's okay, it's just not very detailed. I would suggest that you explore some of the other view options. I personally would recommend the unit view because each week of our course relates to a unit. So let's just look at Unit 1. Anytime you see a folder, you'll be able to click to expand that. So when you want to complete all the activities for Unit 1, you just click on Unit 1. You can see that in Unit 1, you'll have a welcome to your course. It's a little video that tells you a little bit about MindTap. Getting started with MindTap, which gives you, again, more information about the way the course is set up. And then you'll have a pre-course assessment. So these are all things you'll need to do to get started with the course. Notice this orange button right here. That indicates to you that that counts toward your grade. So that's something that you must submit prior to the end of the unit. This course is simply a pretest and you can click on it to access it. Then you'll have chapters. Many of the units will have 2 chapters to complete, but Unit 1 just has 1. So when you get to the chapter, click on it and you can view everything that's within the chapter. So for Chapter 1, you'll have a Chapter 1 preview. You'll have a Chapter 1 read, which is where you'll read. Notice too that you can always access the full book over here on the right. And when you take your preview, it'll teach you what all of those buttons do. Once you've done your reading, then you'll do a case simulation, which I'll talk about in a minute and show you. And then you'll have a submission. So for each case simulation, you'll conduct certain tasks. And you'll have some information about that provided when you read through the simulation. And again, I'll show you that in a minute. But you can see that this counts towards your grade. These will be your main assignments for the course. You'll have another folder within each chapter that's called Chapter Study. And again, when there's a folder, you can click to expand. You can review and reinforce. So if you need a little bit of extra time spent with the chapter, if the concepts are a little bit confusing to you, this will give you the opportunity to do that. And then for every chapter, there's a quiz. And that quiz will be worth 20 points, and you'll have 3 attempts at that quiz, and this will count towards your grade. So once you've completed all of this information for the chapter, then you're done for that unit. Now, MindTap, of course, only contains the information related to the chapter. So it'll be your readings, your case simulation assignments, and your content review check, or your weekly reading quizzes, if you will. All the other items that are due this week will be identified in Sakai. So you'll have a discussion that's due and other various items depending on the week. So be sure to always go to Lessons in Sakai to start each week, and it'll tell you everything that's due, including a checklist at the end so you don't miss anything. So let's just take a quick minute and talk about the case simulation. This will be a running project throughout the course. When you click on the case simulation, you will, I'll just click on it to show you. You'll see information about that session. And you can read through this, and that tells you what it is. And it comes up in a separate tab, so you can just close that tab, and then you can go to the SCR case simulation itself each week. Now you'll come to an external site called the SCR intranet login, and just use this information here as your email address and password. So I'm just going to copy and paste them in. Now remember, it's a simulation, so you'll be given a name and a position at the business. So once you log into the simulation, you'll see that there's a session. There's a work session for every chapter. So since we're just doing 1 chapter this week, you'll only have to produce 1 session. But in the second unit, you'll be responsible for chapters 2 and 3, so you'll have to produce 2 sessions in that unit. So when you click on it, you'll notice there's an inbox. So you get to actually read the different emails, and that will provide information about the simulation. and then there are voicemails that you can listen to as well. And so you'll want to do all of that before you go to the to-do list, and then these will be the tasks that are due. You can read through those to see what you'll need to produce and submit for a grade. But remember, it's a simulation, so you'll be acting as if you are a member of this particular organization, and you'll produce your work accordingly. When you're done with that, you can close the simulation, and when you're ready to submit the assignments, then you'll click here on the submittal and then start the assignment now. So that's where you'll go in, and it will ask you to use Word or whatever whatever's related to the particular assignment. So you can upload your files here and submit them through MindTap. Again, all of your assignments related to the case simulation will be uploaded here, not to Sakai. Okay, so let's close out of that and go back to the chapter. When we're done with this chapter, we can click this arrow and go back, and you can see that we have completed everything from chapter 1. Chapter 1, which is within Unit 1. So now when you're ready, you move on to Unit 2, and just to show you, there are 2 chapters due in Unit 2. Also, something new introduced here are these, and these are videos that are supplemental information for you, so you can click on those to read a little bit, to watch a video about work breakdown structures, task patterns, and project management critical path analysis. So these are videos that are related to the content that are just there to help you. There's nothing due. Again, you click on the chapter, you can do the preview, the read, the case simulation. That's the information you need and what tasks are due, and this is where you submit them. Remember, anything with orange is something that's due. You can participate in the study if you need additional help, and then you take your content review, again, 20 points towards your grade. That's chapter 2, and because the unit has 2 chapters, then you have to click on chapter 3 and do basically the same thing. So again, we can click back, and then we get here, we can close the unit. So let me just show you through a couple of the units. Some have many videos and some have no videos, and each of the chapters that are due are listed. You'll also see this, which is called In the News, and there's nothing due here, but it's a way that you can click on and sort of see what's new in the news, if you will, and then there are interesting articles here related to the course content that you can read for interest. There are 2 of those that pop up periodically. Again, nothing due for those. The other thing you'll see is the Systems Analysis Toolkit, and every once in a while you'll have an assignment that refers to this. There's nothing due here. These are just toolkits that can provide you additional information. When they're referenced, that's where they are. Well, I sure hope that helped you get a better idea of what the MindTap site looks like. And if you have any questions, just ask, but be sure that you watch those previews in Unit 1, and you should be ready to roll.